Hi everyone and welcome to today's video. We're continuing our study of adjectives and their opposites, and this is part 3. Right, so which of these are correct? Ordinary or unusual? Unusual. Sharp or blunt? Sharp. Deep or shallow? Deep. Cheap or expensive? Expensive. Polite or rude? Rude. Loose or tight? Loose. So here are the adjectives with their opposites: polite and rude, loose and tight, cheap and expensive, ordinary and unusual, shallow and deep, sharp and blunt. Now you're going to choose the correct adjective for each sentence. The knife is very blunt. You should make sure it is sharp before cutting the fish. The thief hit the man over the head with a blunt object. That is a very sharp saw. Please be careful when you are cutting the wood. That is an unusual piece of music. I have never heard anything like it before. That is the ordinary route home from school. We take it every day. He is a very rude boy. He has terrible manners. His loose pants were always falling down, so he bought a new belt. The sign said, "Don't jump in the water because it is shallow." Whales usually swim in very deep water. Hardworking or lazy? Hardworking. Positive or negative? Positive. Wise or foolish? Wise. Silly or serious? Silly. Bright or dull? Bright. Flat or bumpy? Bumpy. So hardworking, its opposite is lazy. Positive, negative. Bright, dull. Wise, foolish. Flat, bumpy. Silly, serious. Again, choose the correct adjective. She is a hard-working woman. She studies almost every night of the week. That is a lazy dog. He barely moves all day. That's a foolish thing to say. Don't be stupid. You should listen to her. She is old and very wise. He is such a silly boy. He is always making jokes. This is a serious movie. It is about a historic war. We love the performance. He was such a silly and funny comedian. Hold on. It is always bumpy on a roller coaster. Amsterdam is a very flat city. Many people ride bikes. He is a positive man. He is always smiling. She is a negative person. She is never happy about anything. Right, now you're going to use these adjectives to complete the paragraph. You can pause the video, try that on your own, and then restart when you're ready to check your answers. The two men are completely different. My old boss was a rude man. He had no manners. He was also a negative person. He always focused on our errors and mistakes. The company made a wise decision to hire my new boss. He is a positive man. He is always shaking hands and thanking us. He is also a polite man. He is always happy and smiling. All right, so we're comparing some similar adjectives. So short and tall, we use short and tall to describe height. So this man is short, this man is tall. We can also use short and long to describe the length of something. So we wouldn't say she has tall hair, we would say that she has long hair. So young and old. We can use young and old to describe living things. It's a young boy, an old dog, or young plants. And then new and old, we use new to describe non-living things, like a new car, new pants, an old bike. We use slim and fat to describe people or animals. So fat boy, slim man, fat cat. And we use thick to describe non-living things. Thick door, thin can be used for living and non-living things. So height only would be tall, length, long, both height and length, short. Living things would be young, slim, and fat. Non-living things, new and thick. And both living and non-living would be old and thin. So now complete the sentences with one of the adjectives. The cat has a very short tail. Perhaps it got caught in an accident. The short boy was upset because he was not tall enough to go on the ride. That is a long phone number. I need to write it down to make sure I do not forget it. He is a very tall boy. He was 180 centimeters tall when he was only 12 years old. That was a long movie. It lasted more than 2 hours. The short story was easy to read. It only took her 30 minutes to read it from start to finish. Is that a new pair of glasses? What happened to your old pair? You had the old pair for 10 years. She is a nice young woman. She will grow up to be very successful. And the old man goes for a walk every day in order to keep up his stamina. Can you take him to the store? He needs a new pair of shoes because his old shoes are falling apart. The great thing about the town festival is that the young generation and the old generation socialize together. And can you buy a new bottle of ketchup? The slim man was very fat last year. His doctor ordered him to lose weight with exercise and diet. Please use a thick marker when labeling the boxes. If you write with a thin marker, the label will not be large enough. She was a thin woman. It looked like there was no fat on her body. The fat cat was overweight due to a medical condition. He had actually I think this one is slim, not thin. He had a distinct Face with thick and bushy eyebrows and a thin mustache. So you can use some adjectives to describe these pictures. So the dog is fat, the man is old, the car is new, and the cell phone is thin. The woman is young or thin, the boy is young or short, the car is old, the marker is thick. And that brings us to the end of today's video. Please like, subscribe, share, and if you have any questions, leave those for me in the comments. Thanks for watching. Bye.